Sensitivity on the speaker's side?
I said short of. I want to teach him that means short of, and does not mean I do.
No,
short of.
You rephrase your statement.
The neighbor is disorganizing me right on.
No, you first rephrase it, or else. Yes, put him on order.
You see, Madam Speaker, it's the tactic you use. We will get the meaning and the intention of your statement. To suggest that the presiding officer is insensitive is unfair on my brother.
No, let him withdraw.
So is he in order to suggest that
He's
the speaker is
not in order. Let him withdraw.
My senior brother is a sheikh. He's guided me from senior one when we first met. I want to withdraw the word. English is not my first language, right, Honourable Speaker.
Should give, no, I keep agreeing with him. The problem is his boss who talks hopelessly. Madam Speaker, I withdraw that statement.
No. Yeah.
I withdraw
Please
that statement.
withdraw.
Madam Speaker, I have
Please.
withdrawn it. But Madam Speaker,
he's
Honorable Mpuuga,
withdrawing.
the foot soldier has no authority to stand and point at me. Has no authority to stand at...
Goretti.
Honorable Member raises
sit.
the point of order, you sit. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Geoffrey Macho, Member of Parliament for Busia Municipality, has said something interesting. He has said that my boss always speaks hopelessly. Honorable Speaker, as leader of the opposition and in this house, my boss is you. You are the Speaker of Parliament. I work under you as Speaker of Parliament. We all work under you as our Speaker and as our boss. He's Honorable Macho in order to say that the Speaker...
And choosing the Speaker of insensitivity. Allow me to say this procedure that you can guide the House. On the 8th of October last year, I filed with the Honorable Speaker.
You say the sensitivity on the speaker's side?
I said short of. I want to teach him that means short of, and does not mean I do.
No,
short of.
You rephrase your statement.
The neighbor is disorganizing me right on.
No, you first rephrase it, or else. Yes, put him on order.
You see, Madam Speaker, it's the tactic you use. We will get the meaning and the intention of your statement. To suggest that the presiding officer is insensitive is unfair on my brother.
No, let him withdraw.
So is he in order to suggest that
He's
the
not
speaker
in
is
order.
insensitive?
Let him withdraw.
My senior brother is a sheikh. He's guided me from senior one when we first met. I want to withdraw the word. English is not my first language, right, Honourable Speaker. So I withdraw that.
Okay.
Right, Honourable Speaker, on the 8th of October last year, I filed with the Speaker's office 8 bills, including the political parties amendment bill, as a private member. Effectively, it is 7 months and 5 days since I filed those bills, and I've not had occasion to be heard on the floor for me to go and make the amendments that I thought would probably return even more sanity and clarity to our intentions as leaders. Honourable Speaker, now that we have one lucky mover who filed several months after.
All the members are lucky in this house. There is no one lucky mover.
No,
including yourself.
She's ahead of me. May we be guided, Honourable Speaker, especially now that the 2 senior ministers, the Land Attorney General, the Minister of Justice, are in the House, on how we can bring to bear the desire then to amend the same law to which I was not lucky to have precedence, that I had either on the floor or in the committee to have these short amendments to the Act considered, that I do not really go back to Masaka and tell my voters that indeed the Speaker never had me. Right, Honourable Speaker, may I be guided procedurally on how to bring to bear those amendments?
I think to the amendment.
Right Honourable Speaker, at this stage purport to oppose
because you don't know the amendment. So let it go to the committee.
It's a matter for leave to appeal to.
Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, parties in this House and all political parties would be interested. But there are two terminologies that have been used. And I'm seeking clarification from the movers over what they mean by dialogue, over what they mean
Honorable,
by...
you're discussing
Right
something
Honourable
that...
Speaker, allow me...
There's an order, okay.
Allow me
There's
time.
an order. There's an order. There's an order.
And I have a lot of respect for Honorable Patrick. A lot of respect, because we joined this House almost together. Is it in order to go to the definition section of the bill, which we still don't know? Is it in order?
I now put a question that Honorable on a good faith political parties organizations amendment bill. Those in favor say on the contrary nay. The ayes have it. And pursuant to Rule 121, 2, 3, and 4, the rules of procedure, the clerk is hereby instructed to support the member in ensuring the bill is tabled in the House. Next. Sarah.
Broke off. I raised the issue of police officers who have not been receiving their salaries. Some have gone without salaries for over 6 months, and I was surprised, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Sarah, can we handle that on Thursday? It comes as a substantive item.
Right Honourable Speaker, there were responses and a statement by the Minister of Internal Affairs.
You're disorganizing the flow of the answered. Can we handle it on Thursday? Yes.
Okay.
Mehdi?
Presiding about 3 months ago, the Honourable Norbert Mao, comrade, pledged to this House that he will come up with comprehensive electoral reforms. Parties have begun their internal frameworks of selecting leaders. There is the notion of the introduction of the use of digitization and electronic voter verification system, which many people are not privy to. The other issue was the issue he talked about that he said was being discussed in cabinet, the issue of involvement of the people in the diaspora in the election process of this country. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like, with your guidance, to put it to the Honourable Norbert Mao that he deserves, as Minister of Justice, to come and guide this nation as parties, including his, are going through their internal mechanism of choosing their leaders, so that the country knows that by the opening up of the National Electoral Commission roadmap, the country is aware what mechanism, what system, etc. that we are going to use in the election, so that there is clarity. In the same sense, the Honourable Matthias Mpuuga, like he said, he had presented comprehensive amendments and shared them with different political parties. At least we deserve to know how far that process has gone, so that we can tell the public that this is what you ought to be ready for. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you.
I'm a man of my word, and this Parliament deserves to know the truth. There is the amendment
which will make biometric verification of voters compulsory. It came before Cabinet, and after debate, the bill was referred to a Cabinet committee to study it. The chair of the committee is the Honorable Chris Bariomunsi. I've been informed that now he has his report ready. And by now, actually, the bill would have been discussed, but we have not had Cabinet for the last 2 sittings. And so I want to assure this House.
So you're making that amendment for which election? This election or for the next one?
Madam Speaker, we want free and fair elections. Actually, the purpose of amendments is to ensure free and fair elections. This proposal deals with the problem of ballot stuffing. It also has a lot of financial implications. When I went to the meeting with the President, I told the President that personally, as Minister of Justice, I cannot guarantee that citizens can be biometrically verified unless we have at least 2 machines, because we tested the batteries of the machines used by UBOS, and we found that they could not last for the duration of the election day. I have to safeguard the right of citizens to free and fair elections. The electoral reforms are not just mantras. They have a purpose. And that is what I promised, and that's what I'll deliver. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable,
a little bit confused and concerned. The amendment to the Political Parties and Organizations Act, the preamble talked about parties refusing to be part of the National Consultative Forum and IPOD.
Honorable Akena, we moved away from that.
I'm building it is relevant to what the Minister just said.
Okay.
I can speak on behalf of UPC. We have participated fully in IPOD and in the National Consultative Forum. There's no point where we have not been involved. So, on the concern and...
I thought her statement was some parties.
The second that talked about parties are not. On this particular issue, Right Honourable Speaker, and seeing that the Korea agenda for the budget for 2025-26 has been laid, there's a section 14A of the Political Parties and Organizations Act which has not been adhered to in the past elections. And I am on record to writing to the Minister and copy to the relevant areas. I'm wondering how we're going to deal with this one, because we are at very late stage of the electoral process and the budgeting process. But Section 14A of the current Act, which the President himself in our IPOD meeting said that the NRM had acted in an unchristian way in handling that matter. Where we're going, we seem we're going from unchristian to diabolical. That is where, from my point of view, we have moved from the unchristian to diabolical, because we are deep in the budgeting issue and we don't know where things stand, and we are now having issues of amendments which have not yet cleared Cabinet. Right Honourable Speaker, as we head into an election which is of great importance, I would really hope that my brother, the President General of the Democratic Party, can give me some hope and clarity that there's something good happening in the kitchen, and we should not expect something worse to take place.
Thank you. Honorable Mpuuga.
Your guidance to my intentions was a bit equivocal. May I be further guided on what you actually ordered me to do in the face of what I had proposed and the motion moved?
Honorable Mpuuga, in the language that we all understood, I said if you have an amendment to the political parties, organizations amendment of the Act, go to the committee. And that's where the Land Attorney General said he cannot comment on it because he doesn't know the amendment that you're going to bring. So take your amendments to the committee and then you'll interrogate it at committee level. That's what you wanted. So I've told you, next. Yes, Justice.
Yeah, the last time we were here,
And what you need to do is to liaise with the drafters. Honorable Mpuuga, you have to liaise with the drafters because there is no bill yet. We have only given what? Leave.
Madam Speaker, the issue, I'm doing a follow-up. The last time you had required the Attorney General to give us the correct position how he will deal with the issue of election of the MP representing workers so that the regional balance is taken care of. And the Attorney General had made commitments that he was going to do consultation and come back and brief the House on how Northern Uganda would do.
The 4 traditional regions.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank
not
you, Madam
specific.
Speaker.
Honorable Attorney General.
Right Honorable Speaker, like I did commit here, as soon as I left the House, I did forward this matter to the Minister of Gender, under which docket it falls, and I copied my communication to the clerk, and the Minister of Gender has been handling that issue. I think they've even had several, I think 2 or 3 meetings with the workers. But I can always find out from the Minister of Gender and come back.
This 12A, the Supreme Court of Uganda, B, the Court of Appeal of Uganda, C, the High Court of Uganda, and D, this is where my interest is, and such subordinate courts as Parliament may by law establish, including cards courts of marriage, divorce, inheritance of property, and guardianship, and may be prescribed by Parliament. Right Honourable Speaker, we have just received an amendment to the UPDF Act that wishes to bring in the court-martial. But they are referring to 129(1)D, which specifically also speaks about the cards court. And for 30 years, government has not gotten the interest of introducing the cards court. And the people of Uganda have called...
Where are the lights off?
Yes. Right Honourable Speaker, the people of Uganda have cried for establishment of this cards court for all this time. And the executive has refused to listen to our plea. Now that they have the appetite of introducing courts, even the courts that people of Uganda do not desire, yet they are courts that we desire, may this House please to put it on to the executive to establish the cards court. And for that matter, Right Honourable Speaker, allow me move a motion without notice to compel the executive to introduce a law that will guide the establish and guide the cards court in Uganda. I say pray, Right Honourable Speaker.
AG.
If she finds some time to come, we can have a conference on this, but a lot has been done on this aspect. And in fact, meetings and consultations have been carried out with the leadership of the Muslim community. So I'll share with her where we are, but work has already started, not that we've not done anything.
Thank you. Next item.
Right Honourable Speaker, I don't know
Next
whether...
item.
If you may allow me, sir.
He has told you, get back to us on what you've agreed.
Tax Amendment Bill 2025 be read for the second time. The object of the bill is to amend the Value Added Tax Act, Cap 344,
Nathan,
to provide for the anti-fragmentation rule for imported goods, to exempt biomass pellets and solar lanterns from value-added tax, to zero-rate the supply of aircraft, to prescribe the United Nations related agencies and specialized agencies as listed institutions, and also the bill provides for other related matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair of the committee.
And referred to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for consideration in accordance with Rule 135, subsection 1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. The committee scrutinized the bills in accordance with Rule 135, subsection 2, 3, and 4, the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, now begs to report. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me at once, if it pleases you, to table and lay all the minutes of the committee and the original copies of the 7 bills as tabled.
We are going to deal with each bill separately, but they have the same minutes.
Yes.
You have the same
Amendment Bill 2025. I beg to lay.
Please do.
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill 2025 was read for the first time on the 27th of March 2025 and referred to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for consideration, and in accordance with Rule 135, subsection 1 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, the committee scrutinized the bill in accordance with Rule 135, subsection 2, 3, and 4 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, and now begs to report. The object of the bill is to amend the Value-Added Tax Act, CAP 344, to 1. Provide for an anti-fragmentation rule for imported goods, and 2. To exempt biomass pellets and solar lanterns from value-added tax, and 3. Zero rate the supply of aircrafts, and 4. Prescribe the United Nations related agencies and specialized agencies as listed institution. Methodology. While considering the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill 2025, the committee utilized the following methods. 1. Meetings. The committee held meetings with the following entities: the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Uganda Revenue Authority, the PricewaterhouseCoopers, the Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, the Private Sector Foundation, Uganda, Uganda Manufacturers Association, Birungi, Barata and Associates, the American Chamber of Commerce, French Chamber of Commerce, the British Chamber of Commerce, and Netherlands Trade and Industrial Platform. And we received written submissions from the Attorney General, the Kikubo Entrepreneurs Initiative, and Buuna and Vadevye Certified Public Accountants. And under document review, the committee reviewed and made reference to the following documents. 1. Submissions from the stakeholders mentioned above, a policy note, the VAT exemption for biomass pellets in Uganda from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and the policy note, imposition of VAT on supply of billets from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill, explanatory notes, and the Value-Added Tax Act, CAP 344. The committee observations and recommendations. A certificate of financial implication. The certificate of financial implication indicates that as a result of the proposed amendment to the VAT Amendment Bill, government will experience a revenue loss estimated at 38 billion annually. The committee noted that based on the objectives of the bill and the expected achievements, the bill's likely implications will be as follows. 1. The introduction of the anti-fragmentation rule, whose objective seeks to combat tax evasion by preventing importers from intentionally splitting consignments to remain below the VAT registration threshold, is expected to enhance tax administration, improve revenue collection, and strengthen Uganda VAT compliance framework. And this provision, if passed and implemented as planned, will yield a positive effect on the revenue. The refinement of the VAT exemptions for the solar lanterns and textiles inputs addresses previous drafting errors, ensuring that the law aligns with its intentioned policy objective, and this correction will promote consistency and clarity in the application of tax laws. This provision, if passed and implemented as planned, will yield a neutral or positive effect on revenue. The repeal of the VAT exemption on billets is intended to boost local production, reduce reliance on imports, and advance Uganda's industrialization agenda. By supporting domestic manufacturing, this measure is expected to create jobs, enhance value addition, and stimulate economic growth. This provision, if passed and implemented as planned, will generate revenue of Uganda shillings 30 billion. Exempting biomass pellets from VAT
Honorable
promotes...
Senator, you have something to say?
No, I was seeking your indulgence. These are 7 bills. There are bills where we have divergent views and bills where we don't have. So I was only seeking your guidance whether where we don't have too much difference, the chair can summarize and we'll go to those that may take time.
Yes. Chair, can you summarize? We go to this committee stage and...
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. And having said that, though I know the body would have built the argument, but allow me to go straight, therefore,
to the recommendations.
To the committee recommendations. The committee recommends that the Minister of Finance undertakes a study on the impact of groupage consolidated cargo on VAT compliance for future policy consideration. And 2, the Uganda Revenue Authority should apply Section 7 and 8 of the VAT Act to establish eligibility of each individual importer under the groupage cargo category for VAT registration. And 3, Clause 2 of the VAT, or Value Added Tax Amendment Bill 2025, be deleted. Under the exemption of the United Nations related agencies and specialized agencies from tax, the committee recommends that the proposed amendment be adopted. And under the exemption of the tax for items under Schedule 3, Clause 4 of the Bill seeks to amend Schedule 3 of the Principal Act by replacing the exemption or the supply of composite lanterns and so on. And Right Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends that the proposed amendments be adopted. Imposition of VAT on billets. The committee recommends that the proposed amendments be adopted. Inclusion of biomass billets in Schedule 3. The committee recommends that the proposed amendments in Clause 4 be adopted. 0 rating the supply of aircraft. The committee recommends that the proposed amendments in Clause 5 be adopted. In conclusion, the committee recommends that the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill 2025 be passed subject to the proposed amendments.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Apply taxes properly. Where whom to tax and whom not to tax. Now, these exemptions you are bringing this time, have you done a total analysis to confirm to the people of Uganda that you're not going to shift this tax to another person?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we provided before the committee a number of research studies we have undertaken on the proposed amendments. Also, I wish to inform the House that we have done the tax policy, which is now before Cabinet for consideration, and this will streamline whatever proposals we shall be bringing and how we intend to streamline tax administration to raise the desired revenue. So therefore, to allay the fears of Honorable Nganda, the chairperson of the committee can confirm that this time round we provided the studies, and also when Cabinet passes the tax policy, which is under consideration, I will also be laying a copy of the policy to the House. Thank you.
Minister for Finance. This is one of the bills where both the committee members from both sides of the House had no contention. I therefore move a motion that we go to committee stage. That we go to the committee stage.
Most of the proposals there are agreed with, but the proposal that...
There's an order.
And team, I put it that way. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I'll go straight to observations in the interest of time. The remission of duty paid on damaged and expired or obsolete goods. The amendment allows a person liable to pay excise duty to apply to the Commissioner General for remission of duty if they can provide sufficient proof that the goods were damaged, expired, or obsolete. This application must include: 1, evidence that the excise duty was paid on the damaged, expired, or obsolete goods where applicable. The goods delivery document, such as a formal order for the delivery of goods, should be available. A report from a competent authority detailing the extent and cause of damage in case of the damaged goods, and any other documentation prescribed by the minister, through regulations. If the Commissioner is satisfied that the excise duty was paid on the affected goods, they may either offset the excise duty paid against any other outstanding duty owed by the taxpayer, or, at the taxpayer's written request, apply the excise duty paid in reduction of any other outstanding obligation or liability to a person liable to pay tax with regard to other undisputed taxes. The committee was informed that the amendment aims to provide equitable relief for taxpayers by ensuring that they are not unfairly taxed on goods that are damaged, expired, or obsolete, and therefore unsellable. The committee observed that the practice that requires the taxpayer to pay for the damaged, expired, or obsolete goods is unfair, and thus this amendment seeks to remedy this anomaly. The committee recommends that Clause 2 be adopted. Increase in excise duty on cigarettes. The committee was informed that the amendment aims to raise additional revenue of about 8 billion while taking into account inflation. The proposal supports efforts to align Uganda's cigarette excise duty with the East African Community standards, where Uganda's rates are currently low. This amendment will also contribute to public health objectives by discouraging tobacco consumption. The committee observed that there is weak implementation of the Tobacco Control Act. For example, the labeling, advertisement, and gazetting of designated smoking areas, among others, are not adhered to. The excise duty has not been adjusted for inflation since the financial year 2017-18, even though the consumer price index has risen by 28.8% from the financial year 2017-18 to financial year 2023-24. 3, an increase in excise duty on cigarettes is likely to lead to an increase in illicit trade. This will force consumers to opt for unregulated products, thereby leading to the unintended consequence of revenue reduction. And therefore, the committee recommends that 1, Clause 3A of the bill be adopted, and 2, there is need for strict enforcement of Tobacco Control Act Cap 43 by government, and 3, the Uganda Revenue Authority and the Uganda National Bureau of Standards should strengthen efforts in mechanisms against illicit tobacco trade in the country, especially at border points, transit routes, and the wholesale points. Adjustment of excise duty rates for beer from local raw materials. Clause 3B of the bill proposes an amendment to Schedule 2 of the Excise Duty Act to rationalize taxation of beer by repealing the redundant middle-tier tax rate and adjusting the bottom-tier rate to reflect current economic conditions. The Uganda current excise duty structure for the beer follows a 3-tier regime. The top tier, Uganda shillings 2,050 per litre, or 60%, whichever is higher for beer, is no local raw material requirement imported beer. 2, middle tier, 950 per liter or 30%, whichever is higher, for beer made from barley grown and malted in Uganda. And the bottom tier, 650 shillings per liter or 30%, whichever is higher, for the beer made with at least 75% local sourced raw materials. The committee was informed that the middle tier rate has been obsolete because beer from the barrel grown and malted in Uganda qualifies for bottom tier rate. Consequently, the bottom tier specific rate of shillings 650 is no longer practical due to inflation. The proposed adjustment of the specific rate from 650 to 900, an increase of 250, is intended to cater for inflation and effective resultant tax rate. The committee observed that the amendment aligns the tax structure with the present economic conditions. Therefore, the committee recommends that the clause be adopted as proposed in the bill, and the URIS strengthens the enforcement mechanism against illicit alcohol trade in the country, which currently stands at 65%. Reduction of tax on fruits, vegetable juice made from local raw materials. In clause 3D of the bill proposes an amendment to item 5B of the Schedule 2 to exempt fruit and vegetable juice made from at least 50% pulp sourced from locally grown fruits and vegetables in partner states. The committee was informed that the proposed amendment aims to 1, eliminate the current ambiguity in the excise duty law. 2, increase the uptake of locally grown fruits and vegetables and promote value addition. 3, reduce post-harvest losses and improve returns to farmers. And 4, support the government's agro-processing priority through promoting the emerging local industry and employment creation. The committee observed that the proposed amendment increases the requirement of pulp for fruit and vegetable juice from locally grown fruits and vegetables from 30% to 50%, but does not affect the excise duty rate. Therefore, the committee recommends that clause 3D of the bill be adopted. Increase of tax on motor spirits. This proposal was dropped by the sponsor of the bill during the meeting with the committee. Therefore, the committee recommends that the clause 3E be deleted from the bill. Excise duty on plastics. Clause 3F of the bill proposes an amendment to item 11 to Schedule 2 by changing the description of plastics to restrict it to sacks in bags of polymer, of ethylene, and other plastics under the Harmonized System Code 3923.21.
Majorly, the people
and that's
on the
what
front
LOP
bench.
says, even
Yes,
Jonathan.
and for now, I want to agree strongly with the LOP that the front bench should give. No, I keep agreeing with him. The problem is his boss who talks hopelessly. Madam Speaker,
No,
I
no, no.
withdraw. I withdraw that statement.
No. Yeah,
I withdraw
please
that statement.
withdraw.
Madam Speaker, I have
Please.
withdrawn it. But Madam Speaker,
he's
Honorable
withdrawn.
the foot soldier has no authority to stand and point at me. Has no authority to stand and...
Goretti.
Honorable, when a member
Goretti,
raises the
sit.
point of order, you sit. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Geoffrey Macho, Member of Parliament for Busia Municipality, has said something interesting. He has said that my boss always speaks hopelessly. Honorable Speaker, as leader of the opposition and in this house, my boss is you. You are the Speaker of Parliament. I work under you as Speaker of Parliament. We all work under you as our Speaker and casually as our boss. Is Honorable Macho in order to say that the Speaker speaks hopelessly?
Honorable Macho, you have the most brilliant speaker if you don't know, who does not go to National Theatre, very sober 24/7. You're not in order. Can you withdraw your statement?
Madam Speaker, with all due respect to your chair, as one of the best speakers in Uganda since independence, I was not referring to you, I was referring to the boss of his political party, and he knows
So
it.
can you withdraw?
And therefore, Madam Speaker,
Decorum.
I withdraw for the purpose of
And
for the
apologize.
purpose, and therefore I apologize because I need the LOP to be given a card for NOP. I really apologize, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. He's having a maiden speech. Goretti.
I want to thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for first of all adjourning this plenary to 10, because we need time to process this appropriation. Speaker.
By the way, I just want to make a reminder that this budget has just started today. We have the budget framework paper, ministerial statements, and I am happy that my deputy gave you 3 weeks of debate. So the report will come and give us a summary of what they've done, what effect it has, and what will be done. Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, this is a very important process to this country, and it's very embarrassing for the front bench to be empty. Actually, having 4 members, Right Honourable Speaker, yes.
Goretti, we've already made a ruling on that. We need the people in the House.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Government Chief Whip, can we have members in the House?
We stated, Madam Speaker, that we are mobilizing members to be in the House, and they are coming as we wait for the budget to come, as we wait for the budget committee. So we are going to have members. I think the honourable colleague should relax. This is a matter that we have already attended to. And also mobilize on your side so that the whole House can be full.
Right Honourable Speaker is very aware that we are the minority, and for now we are the majority. Right Honourable Speaker, I would request that once the report comes to the floor, we are given ample time to discuss this budget, because at times,
Madam,
Right Honourable Speaker.
Madam, unfortunately, you're now debating in anticipation. You had a lot of time with this report. What is foreign affairs?